Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be showing you how to make this cover up, and everything that I'll be using to make this cover up dress will be listed on the screen. So let's get started. So the first thing you need to do is to measure the length or the width of the top, right? So I want my top to be about under the armpit there, to match there. So mine will be about 11 inches. So this is how I want it to be, how wide I want it to be, right? So about 12 inches. So you'll do the same for your size. Now for the length now will be from the top of your shoulders to under your armpit, right? So mine is about 7.5 inches. So now that you have the size that you'll be working with for the top, we'll be starting at for the back piece. You make your chain, and you're going to make a chain that is long enough for the width that you made, and that is the first measurement that you get over the bust. So remember, mine was 12, so I'll be making a chain that is long enough to get 12, and you're going to make chains of 5. Alright, so I made a chain about 55, and it measures the 12 inches that I need, right? So multiples of 5. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn my work, and then chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to count or skip 4 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and make a double crochet into the 5th chain from the chain 3. So this is your first box. Going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over. I'm going to count 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and enter into the 5th with a double crochet. So I'm going to continue that until I am at the end. So as you can see, I'm at the last one, and I have enough chains to finish that first row, right? So this is how the first row is looking. Now we're going to continue with this row until we get the length that we measured before. So my length is about 7.5 inches, as I showed you on the mannequin. So I'm going to continue making rows until I have 7.5 inches in length. So to continue making your rows, we're going to chain 3, turn your work, and chain 4. Yarn over, insert your hook into this space where you have the double crochet, and make a double crochet on top. So this is what you're going to continue to do until you get the length that you need. Okay, so after you get the length that you need, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rows. Now we're going to move on to the front part of the dress, right? But at this point, you're going to identify how wide you want your neckline to be. Alright, so on the mannequin, I want my neckline to be about 9 inches wide. So I'm going to measure how far 9 inches will take me. So about this amount, right? So I will have 3 remaining boxes left. So just to even it out, I'm going to put it at 4. So I'll have 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. So you take your stitch marker and mark the area, and this will be your neckline, right? Now what you're going to do, you're going to chain 3, turn your work, and then make boxes until you reach here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point, you're going to count the number of chains that you need, because you need to make it right here. So for me, I have 34, right? So I'm going to measure, I'm going to chain 34. So now that I have 34, the number of chains here, I'm going to make my double crochet in where, at the space where I have my stitch marker. Just like so, and continue making the boxes. So just like that. So what I'm going to do now is to make the same number of rows that I have on this side here, on this side that I'm working on now. Next, you're going to chain 3, turn your work, chain 4, and then you're going to make your boxes in the chain. So you're going to count 4, 3, 4. You count 4 spaces, so 1 or 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and enter into the 5th with a double crochet. So again, chain 4, yarn over, count the 4 chains, and enter into the 5th with a double crochet. So as you can see, we're getting the boxes again. So you should have the same amount of chains or boxes that you made on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it matches, right? So, and this will be your neck hole. So I'm going to continue, finish this row. So this is what your first row of the front panel is looking like. So you're going to do the same amount of rows that you did here on the back to the front, right? So I'm going to finish mine off camera and then show you how it looks when I am finished. So now that I've finished both rows and I have 12 both pieces, I have 12 on this side, 12 on this side. What you can do is just to fit it over your neck to see if it fits and can close properly without being stretched. So you just put your neck through the space and see if it's closing properly over your bust without being stretched. If not, what you can do is to get half of your bust measurement. So my mannequin is a size 30, and what I'm going to do is to make more inches to measure up to 30, to half of that, which is 15. So at this point I have about 14 inches. So what I'm going to do is to make at the end here, I'm going to fold my work like this, right? And I am going to make a chain that is long enough to measure 1 inch, right? So you'll do the same with your size. So just remember, half of your bust measurement minus the measurement that you're getting for this. So the bust measurement that I have is 15 and the size of this is about 14. So I need to make some chains that will give me a total of 1 inch. So I'm just going to connect my piece to the other side just like this, right? I'm going to chain 4, turn my work, and I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, yarn over twice because we're making treble crochets now, and then insert my hook into the middle of the chain 5 that I did. So that will be the third one. I'm going to chain 2, yarn over twice, insert your hook into the double crochet here, like so. Chain 2, yarn over twice, insert your hook, make your treble crochet or your triple crochet, like that. So I'm going to continue doing this until I've completed one row, and then show you what to do when I'm at the gap here. So now that I'm at the point where I've made the extra chains, and remember it should be a multiple of 5, so I'm going to, after I chain my 2, I'm going to yarn over twice and go into the third, because for every 5 chains there should be about two boxes in it, right? Chain 2 and then connect it to this piece here where I started with a slip stitch. So this is how the first row is looking like, right? I'm going to show you how it looks on the mannequin. So as you can see, this is how it will fit. I haven't done this part as yet, so I'm just holding it, and this is how it would stay on the arm. So now I'm just going to continue with my sleeves. So after you've made your first row for your arms, you're going to make the number of rows that you desire. So as shown in the picture, I'm making a short sleeve, but if you want it to be longer, you just follow the pattern. The full length of this would have been about 16, because it's 8 on this side, so 8 on the other side. If you realize that your arm is too small for the gap, all you need to do is to decrease. For this piece, so I'll be decreasing, but if you want it to be wide and you're okay with it, then you can make it stay. So I'm just going to continue with this row. As I mentioned, I will be decreasing. So I'm going to chain 4, and I'm going to turn my work and go to this side. So to decrease, you chain your 2, so 1, 2, yarn over twice. You're going to insert your hook into this double crochet, pull up a loop, insert your hook into the other one, pull up a loop. So you're bringing 2 boxes together. So you pull through 3, pull through 2, and then pull through 2. So as you can see, it's decreased, right? Because you have 2 boxes together now. So I'm going to continue to make a regular round until I am back to this spot right here. So you can do the same, and I'll finish mine off camera. Okay, so I'm finished with both of my sleeves. So this is how it looks on the mannequin, right? So depending on how long you want your sleeves, the fit should be like this, right, on you. Now we're going to move on to the next part, which is the middle section. And to do the middle section, we want to attach our yarn at the end here, just to bring it around, right? So this is what your work should be looking like when it's laid flat. As I mentioned before, you can make the sleeves as long as you want. Just know that as it goes closer to your wrist, you'll just decrease it more, or if you want it to be just one shape, as in one width, you can just continue going straight down to the length that you want, right? So the next thing we're going to make is the middle part. Now At this point where you've attached the extra chains to make the sleeve, you're going to attach your yarn at the center of the extra chains that you made for the sleeves, right? So before, as I mentioned, I chain 5, and that will give me 2 boxes here on top of what I had before, these, right? So I'm going to attach my yarn at the center right here, and I'm going to do that until I come to this, the center on the other side. I'm going to make a slip stitch, a slip knot, sorry. Alright, so I'm going to attach it right here in the middle. And I'm going to chain 1 to secure that. I'm going to chain 2. As you can see, this is how it will be laying, just like this, right? Now if this comes up, what I need to do is to make the same amount of chains that I had here to complete that area. So I made 4, so I'm going to chain 4, yarn over, and make a double crochet into this space. So this is what it should be looking like. So I'm going to continue until I'm at the end of the row. So now that I'm at the last one where I have my stitch marker, and this is at the point that's in the center of the arm here, right? I'm going to remove the stitch marker, and you can use your stitch marker just to have an idea where you should stop. I'm in that same space. I'm going to put my double crochet. After you completed the first row, you're going to chain 3, turn your work, and continue making your rows until you're at the start here. I'm going to use my stitch marker just to mark where I should finish making the row, right? So to continue, after you make your chain 3, you chain 4, 1 2 3 4, yarn over and make a double crochet into that on top of the other double crochet. So I'm going to continue doing this until I'm at the end of the row, and I'll tell you what to do after that. So now that I'm at the last row where I have my stitch marker here, I'm going to chain 4, yarn over, and in the space where I left my stitch marker, I'm going to make a double crochet. Alright, so there you have your second row for the front. So it looks something like this. So this will be the area that covers the bust, right? So you're going to complete this row until you get the length that you're seeing on the screen. So from where you have where you start to make your front rows, that's the length you should measure from. So I'm going to complete mine off camera and show you how it looks on the mannequin as well, and what to do after. Alright, so as you can see, this is how it lays on the mannequin, right? And it stops at the waist here. So what I'm going to do now is to make the back of the dress, which is the skirt portion of it. Alright, so after we've made the number of rows that matches the length, and mine matches about 9 inches with a little stretch, right? Now we're going to make the skirt portion, and to do this we want to make a chain that is long enough to come to this side that can fit your hip size. Now the hip size that I'm working with for my mannequin is about 30 inches. So what I'm going to do is to measure the front portion that I have here just to see how long it is first. So with a little stretch is about 12 inches. So remember, I am making the skirt portion must match my hip size, which is 30. So if I have 12 inches already, I need to make 18 more inches to match the 30 so it can go around the hip. So you do the same. So whatever hip size you have, you're going to measure this piece, and the inches that you get, you're going to minus that from your original hip size. Next, you're going to make the number of chains that will match the total hip size with the front portion. So I'm going to make a chain that is about 18 inches so that I'll get 30 inches in total for the hip size. Alright, so I've made all of my chains, and if you're going to make your dress the same way with the chain 4, your string here, or the chain that we're making to attach to this side, should be a multiple of 5 minus 1. So after you made your chains, you're just going to attach it to this end. So I'm just going to attach the chains to this side. So in the chain 3 that you had there, you're going to attach your yarn and then chain 1, cut your yarn like so, and there you have it. So this will be where you're going to make the skirt coming down now. So you're going to find the middle of your chains. So I'm going to make a slip knot and attach my chain in the middle. After I chain 1, then I'm going to chain 2 more, and I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to yarn over, skip 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, and enter my double crochet into the 5th. Chain 4, skip 4 spaces. So now that I'm at the end here, I'm going to make a double crochet into that space. Alright, so I'm going to continue making this pattern. Okay, so now that I'm at the last couple of chains, I'm going to attach my yarn to where I had the chain 3. Like so. So this will be your first row. So I'm going to continue making mine off camera, and I'll show you how it looks when I am completely finished with making this area. So just remember to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you need to turn your work because we're working clockwise, anti-clockwise. So you turn your work, you chain 4, you yarn over, make a double crochet on top of the double crochet to make your box. Alright, so like that. So I'm going to finish mine off camera, then come back and show you how it looks when I am finished with this piece. Okay, so I am finished with making the bottom half of the dress, but I just want to show you how it looks on the mannequin. As you can see, this side it's not laid flat, so I'm going to show you what to do, how you can just snatch the waist in. So this is the full length of the dress, and for the skirt part of it, I did a total of 20 rows. In the clip before this, I mentioned that if you want the waist to be snatched, this is what you can do. We're going to make a string or some chains that is long enough to weave in at the back like a corset. I'll be making about 200 chains. So for a size small to medium, I would recommend 200. For bigger sizes, up to 300. Alright, so all you need to do now to make the chains for the corset part of it, you're going to make a slip knot and then make the same amount of chains as I mentioned earlier. So now that we've made our chains, we're going to go into the last 2 rows or wherever you want yours to be, because I'm going to put it at the back as well. So if your back is gaping a bit, then you can use the string to go in between that as well. So now that I have this, I'm just going to weave them into the back of the skirt part. Alright, so that is it for the back. Alright, so thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.